So today's episode is going to be a little bit different. Um, for those of you that have been counting, I've been counting. Trust me, every single last podcast, last episode that I put out, that was my 50th episode, and it might not seem like a big deal for everybody else, but for me, it was an extremely big deal. 50 is one of the milestones that I have been, focusing on hitting as far as like building momentum, staying consistent with releasing new content on, Mondays and Fridays of the week, just being on top of things regardless of what my situation is, how busy I get, stuff like that. So 50 is a big moment for me. I'm thankful for the people that have supported me and listened to my podcast thus far. I hope that I was able to impart some type of knowledge or give you some little nugget that you can use to help tweak your life, to become more successful and become closer to the person that you envision. Um, I don't want to give the illusion that I'm the almighty guru and that I have all the answers and all the tips, tricks, and secrets. Just like you, I'm learning. I'm learning, and by and large, these experiences that I share with you are experiences that I have, gone through in life, such as flight, the military, um, my current career, scholastically. Um, it's just little things that I've learned along the way. And I figured that, if I experienced them and, it changed my life, then maybe there's somebody out there, young or older, that I could reach out to that might be able to benefit from the lessons that I've learned so that it could, shorten their path to achieving what they feel is success in their life. And everybody's success isn't the same. So, some people might want to have $1 million, be rich, own businesses and stuff like that. That's just how they determine or how they, brand or characterize success. Um, Other people just might take it on a daily basis and be like, hey, I want to graduate high school, I want to graduate college, I want to be the first in my family to do this or that. Success is very subjective. Is based on the person's experiences in life and how they determine success for them is accomplished. And in my podcast, my biggest goal and my main goal is just to, number one, give people information about things that they might not be aware of. There are plenty of motivational speakers out there, plenty of different podcasts out there, and they're putting out, similar information and stuff like that. And I just want to, you know, reach people, maybe provide a perspective that these guys aren't, and trying to get out to you and pass this information to you so that you can, achieve success. Um, I would be very humbled if anybody would like to establish a dialogue. Like I said, I'm learning. There's plenty of things out there that I don't know and I have not yet experienced. And I would be more than happy if anybody in the audience or, anybody that's listening would be willing to give me some type of input or feedback. Feedback on the podcast, feedback on, my website, my Instagram, my YouTube channel. Anything that you can give me feedback on would be greatly appreciated because, again, this is a learning process. For those of you who have been listening to my podcast from the first episode until now, you should have been able to tell there's been, a change in the way that I've been doing my podcast. That's largely been based on, trial and error. Just try this out and see if it works, and basically trying to find my flow, because it kind of went from, having my own flow and stuff like that, but the episodes weren't as long as I wanted them to be, and somebody gave me a critique that, hey, maybe you want to make your episodes longer. So then I was trying to make my episodes longer, but then my flow was getting messed up and I was kind of coming off robotic, and I didn't want it to be instructional. I wanted it to be more of a conversation type setting. So now I'm leaning more towards a balance of finding my flow and, still establishing content that lasts as long as I ideally want it to last. Um, Basically, the premises of this podcast and I'm sure I've shared this before, is I wanted to feel like a conversation between two people. Because when I was younger, and even as I got older, my grandfather, he was paralyzed, so there were chunks of time where he had to, lay down in the bed and give, the wheelchair a break. But I remember as a young boy, I would just sit in his room and he would talk to me and he would impart knowledge on me, just he would ask me how my day was, how I was doing, what was going on with me, but he would also give me, information and knowledge on how to be a man, how to carry yourself, how to be successful, what you're supposed to do in this situation, how to be a good family man, stuff like that. And he basically set the example and he set the stage for like my morals, my ethics, and my perspective basically about how I will go forward into life. And that's kind of the same thing that I want to establish with my podcast. I want my podcast to be not instructional, like how you're sitting in class and, the teacher's just saying like, this is what we're going to be going over today. Take notes, listen, be attentive, you'll be graded on this. It's not anything like that. Basically, it's just a conversation between me and you, and I'm just trying to pass on the information that I've learned thus far in life. Now, granted, I'm only 29. I'll be turning 30 in December, but I still feel like the things that I've gone through in life are very impactful. And I say that in the same way or in the same intention that your life is impactful as well. There are plenty of people out there that have gone through things that are, trivial to me. Hardships, successes, failures, victories. There's people that have gone out there and experienced a way crazier roller coaster ride than I have. I'm not trying to take away from my experience, and I'm not trying to add to yours. I'm not trying to take away from your experience or add to mine. I'm not trying to say that I've lived, the most successful life. I'm not trying to say that I've, had the hardest life. I've lived life. Everybody's life is different. So in saying that, I've made a podcast entitled like You Do Matter. Your experience, your life, the things that you've gone through, like that does matter. Because, even if you had to go through it the tough way, the long way, the hard way, you can make it easy for the people behind you. And if you even affect one life in a positive way, then you've done more than most people. Because, society is by and large selfish now. And there's not a lot of giving back, and there's not really a collective mindset, which is why there's all this division, and we can't focus on an agenda towards which way we want to go, because everybody wants to go the way that benefits them as opposed to the collective. So, it's life. It's life. I'm very grateful that I've had people listening to me thus far. Creating a podcast has been easier than what I thought, but it's also been harder than what I thought, if that makes sense. I still have a lot of growth to do. If anybody out there knows how to, edit audio recordings, can help me create better YouTube videos, or, see something that's wrong with my website that they'd be able to fix or help me develop, I'd be more than happy to have you on my team. I am looking for a team, because I realize that, I can only do so much by myself, and this isn't my expertise. I didn't go to school for this, and I'm teaching myself, as I go. And while I'm having success while I'm doing it, I could bridge that gap with somebody who has knowledge, who does this for a living. So if anybody out there is, willing to be a part of a team, willing to help me out, give me some knowledge or little tidbits information, I appreciate it greatly. I couldn't have gotten to this point in my life without my mom. I want to give a big shout out to my mom. Me and her have been through ups and downs. It's been a very crazy roller coaster. I don't know where I would have been without my mom. She is my biggest cheerleader, my biggest fan. She's been with me from day one. I'm just thankful for my mom. I'm thankful for my daughters. they are the reason I am where I am today. You know, sometimes I sit back and wonder, you know, where would I be if it wasn't for my daughters? And I don't even know. Like, honestly, I joke around with my mom, like, I can't remember life before my daughters, like, as if it kind of didn't exist. But I had 25 years before, you know, my daughters ever even came into this world. But it just all seems like a blur. And they've become my reason why. They've helped me to refocus and to prioritize things in life, um, which has been a big asset in my development here recently. Um, so I just wanted this podcast to be a little bit different, you know, instead of instructional, kind of just a grateful session. I'm grateful for my place, my position in life. I'm grateful that I'm able to, you know, provide information to you guys through this medium. I hope that it's helpful to all you that are out there listening. I know it's going to be much shorter than what it normally is. You know, usually my podcasts are about 20 minutes plus. Um, you know, I just wanted to get on here and be grateful for a little bit. You know, I'm thankful for the experience. I'm thankful for my audience, and I'm just thankful for my place in life. Again, if you have any critiques, anything you want to give me, any, you know, input to what I'm doing, then I would greatly appreciate it. Um, and be on the lookout for my next podcast.